Oh wait, dear, I forgot my my thing.
Your tooth?
No, my thing. I forgot my thing. From earlier.
Oh, the thing.
Well, not earlier in the bedroom. Earlier. Earlier. That I texted you. Was the pentameter right?
I don't think I got that.
No. I gotta remember the melody.
Hold on, did I just miss it because I was like extremely...
Pretty funny. We were,
I never got it. You sent it to me today?
Yeah.
I never got it. Look.
Huh?
I never got it.
Ain't that something? Google just edits my wife and I's messages, my dad and I's messages, edits Joey's messages to me. God knows what Joey fucking reads that I'm saying to him. Like, you know, holy shit. Like, he's sitting there talking about people at work, and I get his grandpa thinks he's filled with demons. Like, seriously, that happened. He's sending me one text, and I get another text.
Oh, wait,
and then he sends me a screenshot of it. I saved the screenshots. I'll screenshot. I'm going to show y'all as soon as, you know, next time I get around to putting it up here. But anyways, this is not... I'm just trying to do my little intro little song thing for this video here. Okay. You think that your elections are fair and free? Well, I got some fake news for you to read. Oh no, it's not magic though it seems. You think you're gonna wanna just hop online? Well, the million troll army is what you'll find. You won't even notice, no you won't mind, because you're blind to the fact that I'm still scamming after all this time. 256-bit encryption won't help you this time. I'm still scamming, robbing people blind. Going to ransomware your windows till you send your last dime. I'm still scamming. Da da da. I'm still scamming. Da da da. Welcome to TheLostBegotten Channel. Just hold on for a second here. I forgot the whole fucking premise of that song. It's a song and dance number for Vladimir Putin. I'm still scamming after all this time. I'm still scamming. Da da da. Okay, back to the intro. Sorry. Fuck it, we'll just start my song over again.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
With extra redneck accent.
Takes my pain back to breathe out of another take it no more. No, I know I'm walking out that door. The way it treated me too many times. Don't you know you love them, baby, too? Oh, you know I want you there, I wanna be right there with you. I know I gotta keep you by my side till the day I die. 'Cause baby, ecstasy is in my hand. Oh, when I'm holding yours in mine and walking in the sand. Oh, baby, you know it's fine. But now you done and piss me off. You ain't done something you shouldn't have done. Baby, I'm mad. I'm going on. Oh, I'm going on.
This one goes out to nobody watching. 0 people. Once again, the one channel that you'll hear about Russian fuckery as early as, what was it, June 2015. What flat earthers and other conspiracy channels don't want you to know about was that there was a massive Russian propaganda effort going on. Oh, and look, I got a stupid fucking song playing again. Sorry. Well, I mean, it's not that stupid of a song. It's a pretty stupid song. But, so yes, 2015 till now, this has been the channel that points out the ways that the Russian intelligence service has been manipulating the psychology of the American public. And this is the channel that has, over 3,000 subscribers, but no one seems to get the notifications to come join us on the live streams. Isn't that something? I think that's something. Do you think that's something, dear?
Mm-hmm.
See if I can get it to show up there.
There's a one watcher.
Oh yes, we have one watcher. Welcome, viewer. Top of the morning to you, or whatever it is, wherever you are. And apparently I can't get the damn thing to show up, so I'm just going to stop fucking with the window before it just becomes unrecoverable. Alright, so if you're new to the channel, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, or you can introduce us, you know, because we don't know who the fuck we are sometimes. But, and of course, we invite our usuals to come tell us what you think and ask us questions, because as you may know, I'm Sean Morris, and I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Well, you're not from.
Well, I be stays and yeah.
We has been
We
relocated-ified.
Yeah, we're Katrina refugees. Katrina. Yeah. Not to be confused with our kid, Katrina. I'm talking about the hurricane, not the tornado. It might as well have been born on the fucking same day, or born that far apart. Anyways.
Mine was born 6 months sooner.
Note when I'm trying to be vague here, dear. Look again, really. I'm gonna stop letting you on here. Yes, we don't be specific. And word to the wise, or word to the not so wise. Don't give anybody an idea how old you are on the internet. You know, for all you fuckers know, I'm 23 or 42 or whatever the fuck. Yeah, and you can kiss my ass. Because I already know that you know what birthday I have, because you've been knowing it for 2,000 years, haven't you? Oh. Ain't that a bitch. So anyways, you can tweet the clownfish at TheLostBegotten on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with Bubbles and Zoom. They're apparently manning that side of the screen this evening. I was trying to be clever. I don't think I got there. I think I was like, clever was up here, and I was just like, I'm going that way. Anyways. So, we are from New Orleans, okay? We've both lived many places in the world, but we both consider ourselves New Orleanians, or to be New Orleanier, if you will. Yeah. If you partied like it was 1999 in New Orleans, you might be laughing at that joke, because, you know, you did too much acid. That's okay. Everyone in New Orleans at that time pretty much did too much acid. The whole city was pretty much tripping balls in 1999, in fact. Unless they were too drunk to hold it, basically. Which accounted for about half the people. Literally, you would see people in 1999 in New Orleans too fucked up to continue doing the drugs they were trying to do, just dropping shit.
Yeah.
It was pretty fucking crazy.
Right.
I was just an alcoholic. I drank because I knew how. And now I don't drink because I knew how. Quit drinking quite a while ago. Anyways. But after Katrina, we found ourselves in Baton Rouge. I personally was living in a vehicle In a 1993 Acura Integra, as a matter of fact. And anybody from central Baton Rouge, around the intersection of Winborn and Foster, might remember a three-wheeled fucking Integra. By three-wheeled, I mean it had the back of it smashed in, was rebuilt with plywood and fucking aluminum tape and visqueen. One side had a rim on it still, and the other side had a donut that was sitting sideways and skidding, not even fucking rotating. Okay? If you saw it, I just figured you'd fucking remember. Couldn't miss it if you saw it. Okay? White Integra. Blue writing on, blue paint, decal looking writing on both sides. Get a real computer. And I found me an apartment on Addison Street. And that is a block over from where Alton Sterling lost his life. Pretty much gave his life away. Now, there are some asshole cops. In fact, you know, I'd go ahead and say that there's too many asshole cops out there. Okay? Maybe Blaine's one of them. And if you don't know the situation that he was entering, if you saw that video, you'd probably think that he was one of them, for sure. Let me tell you something about that situation he was entered in. Okay? Just hold on. I'm going to let you talk. I lived right around the corner. And every day I hung out with a guy named Nutty One. Okay? And if you don't believe I'm from around there, ask anyone from around there. If a white motherfucker knows the word Nutty One, he probably from around there. Well, I don't just know the word Nutty One. I know his fucking kids call him Dookie, okay? I know that motherfucker. I hung out with him every day. Didn't live there for long, but I hung out with him every day. About 3 months. And I didn't know Alton by his name. I knew him as CD Man. And Nutty One told me, yeah, you know how he seems all nice and teddy bears, right? You know he got a 38 in his fucking right pocket. I knew, and it was known, and everybody on TV sitting there lying about this motherfucker knows that motherfucker has a gun. Okay? Now, his sister, she got an older son. I knew him too. I met him. I told y'all about him before. That's his sister's son. The fucking 14-year-old crack dealer. Yeah, he said, I got fucking weed, meth, crack, whatever you need, man. After I helped him with his Honda Accord 2-door stick shift. Now, I may be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty damn sure he said that's my uncle, the CD Man. So I'm guessing that's his sister, that's his mama. Okay? Now, this guy, Blaine, he got called in there saying CD Man was threatening somebody with his gun. He's a convicted felon. Officers entering a situation where you know this guy's got a concealed weapon at this point. Okay, he's called. Somebody said he has a gun. So the guy's got a gun. You don't see it in his hand. That means the gun's what? Concealed. Okay? That means the officer needs to get compliance 100% or his life is in danger. Okay? And when he sees the guy not getting 100% compliance from the other guy, that means both of those officers' life is in ready. That guy can pull out his gun at any fucking time. So he went up in there and got his motherfucker. I will fucking shoot you, motherfucker. And that's exactly what I would have fucking done, and that's exactly what you would have fucking done.
So
Okay, I've said my piece. Please go Go.
I feel like I have a unique perspective in this case. Because I personally knew Alton Sterling about 13 years ago. My sister and I worked with him. Brief period of time. But brief enough to where we got along. Seemed like a nice guy. But we always knew he had a gun on him. Never threatened to use it on anybody, you know, was real mellow, chill. But, you know.
Ain't like this is uncommon in the South. Dude.
No, and this isn't. This is very common. Everybody down here got a gun.
Not everybody, but
Not
like,
everybody, but...
It ain't fucking uncommon.
I bet you could spit and hit somebody that owns a gun.
Anybody who a little bit insecure or got a reason to got a fucking gun.
Mm-hmm. They easy to come by.
and let me just tell you something about this area. First of all, second of all, third of all, whatever. Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition anyway. Fuck them people. It's hood, man. Did I mention that before when I told y'all I fucking found that place after I lived in my fucking car? Okay? This is like hood. Duh.
Like, you don't walk around after dark.
No, I'm too white. I did not even think about going outside. Not outside my front fucking door after dark. That's how hood this shit was. Okay? If I had to come home in the evening from working, I had to slowly pass through a gang of fucking black kids, all with white wife beaters and shit on, at every fucking entrance to this neighborhood. And you're talking like, it's like a street. Got your main street here, got your main street here, right? And they got the one street right there. That's blocked off. They got street here, street here, street here. All three of them fucking blocked off to this little neighborhood. My apartment's down here on this one on Addison Street. So if I wanted to get home, and it was after like, you know, school let out, I had to be down with the homies, you know, or else I was pretty sure I was gonna get shot right there too. Okay. So just think about that as far as how hostile that whole environment is, okay, to white people in general. Okay, this is not a place where you want to be white at, okay? And I'm sure there's a lot of fucking cities in America, there's a lot of cities around the world where you don't want to be white, okay? Winborn and Foster, ask anybody in Baton Rouge, okay? Winborn and Foster is that fucking area. And I used to live right there on Addison. CD man had a gun, hands down. You know, nice as can fucking be if you're on his good side, okay? So am I. You know?
So, aside having known him personally on a personal level, being very, very well aware of his criminal background, which at this point in time in 2016 had become quite extensive, including including that he was a sex offender, on top of all the other felonies that he had already. And there were cases that were going on at the time that the shooting happened that hadn't even been resolved. He had pending court cases for possession, a felon possession of a firearm, and I think some drug charges, if I'm not mistaken. But, like Sean said, nice as can be if you were on his good side. Now, I don't two people who
Very
I know.
polite to strangers too. You know, like they have manners.
Oh yeah. No, but I have it on very good authority on two people very close to me who knows one of the officers, and it happens to be the one who shot Alton. Also happens to be very nice guy, not racist, has black friends. But the thing about it is, we around this area in general have been having a lot of problems with criminals getting let out on the street, back out, getting rearrested, getting back out, committing felonies, committing more crimes, getting locked up, getting their bonds reduced, getting let back out. And these officers and the chief of the city that we're, in, went on the news and called out the judges in Baton Rouge for doing this, because he said straight up he is tired of arresting the same people over and over and over again. And the worst part about that is that when our police chief gave this interview in December, he was talking about one criminal in particular that's been a problem in our area, who, just a month ago, killed one of our police officers after his bond was reduced $79,000. And he also had a rap sheet a mile long. So, the thing about it is, if you take an outside perspective, it makes you wonder how many times the one who shot him had already encountered him. These officers pretty much patrol the same areas.
Right.
Every day.
Right.
On their shifts.
I mean, he knew where he was at the very least.
But how many times has he had? As many times as he had run in the law, how many times do you think he had to run in with these particular officers? At least a couple times.
Actually say something. Oh look, it's green again. Now, I already said over a year ago, said before this shit happened, Black Lives Matter isn't the first black nationalist movement to be funded and instigated by Russian intelligence in this country. Okay? Ain't gonna be the last either. Now, they also fund the Klan. They also fund white nationalist groups. That's been proven enough. It's been proven on the news. It's been proven by indictments that they're not only in the white nationalist camp, but also in the black nationalist camp. You know? And neither of these camps get a fucking clue. Oh, well, maybe we're being divided so they can conquer us. And just like they support these political operatives, when it comes to corrupting Congress people, the White House occupant, and even judges
And mayors.
There are, you probably guess, you probably just assume, like in Alabama and Mississippi, there's got to be some KKK judges, right? Well, guess what? There's some black nationalist judges too. Bought and paid for by Russia. Through subsidiaries, maybe. Maybe not. But they always know right when they're supposed to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay? And it's not always a matter of full knowledge of their use in the greater tactical scheme. No, they're pawns still. But the thing about a pawn is it can only go a certain direction. Okay? It can't see its way forward on its own. You always know it's going to go either far right or far left. Funny how that works. Pawns. So this is about political instigation. That's all. The whole reason why people are making a big fucking deal out of this is because somebody's approached them behind the scenes and said, you're going to get paid if you make a big fucking deal about this. Just like the reason why Trudy White fucking lets criminals the fuck out is because she gets paid for letting criminals the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it's funny. But I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't even a black nationalist group that was paying for them. I wouldn't be shocked if it was the NRA funding Trudy White. Because letting them criminals out sure makes people want to buy guns, doesn't it? And that's what you gotta understand. I mean, all these people, when you're sitting there taking shit on its surface and just believing what they're telling you about shit, you're just being herded. You're being a sheep. You're letting a blind shepherd lead you, the blind, off a cliff.
You know, one thing that the Sterling family lawyers failed to bring up in their hour-long fucking statement after Blaine got fired today, they keep failing to bring up how many illegal substances was in Alton's system when all this went down. His toxicology report was fucking insane.
Right.
And
let me just say again. The kid that I met wasn't old enough to drive. Had a fucking car. Had a 93 Accord, same color as mine, same teal green color, 2-door, stick shift, AC worked, nice fucking car. I helped him. I forgot he was having a little bit of problem in bogging, and his fucking air filter was just dirty as shit. He didn't know nothing about cars, right? And he told me in reference to, because CD Man was his uncle, that's why he could get anything I fucking needed. Crack, weed, meth. But that's 3 he listed. Anything I fucking need. Okay, so you can take from that, you know, that being the reason, you know, fucking uncle, so I got all the drugs. The uncle's the one with all the drugs, right? And that's the kind of shit that he had in the system.
not to mention that if
meth, what is meth and crack?
Meth, cocaine. He had, I think his blood alcohol level was kind of high. He had all kinds of shit in his system. Opiates, uppers, downers,
Yeah, he
all
said
arounders.
Oxycontins too. Back then, that's when Oxycontins were
Oh, they still are.
a thing, the big thing. Yeah.
But see, the thing is like everybody's focusing on the body cam of Blaine's body cam video.
Right.
They're not really focusing on the surveillance video as much as they need to.
Yeah, and on the surveillance video, he's sitting there not only showing off his gun to somebody he's selling drugs to, but you can see him fucking handing the drugs to him. But they're showing the clip of the Blaine body cam video with the cursing and the slamming on the hood and shit like that. They're not showing as he fucking flips over onto Blaine from underneath the car where his fucking right hand is covered. Okay, so they get him tackled. All right, and this is really important.
Because first they tried to tase him, and it didn't work.
And he's refusing to climb. Okay, so they get him tackled. All right, I don't feel like I need to justify them fucking tackling him. All right, He pulled a fucking gun on somebody. Tackle his ass. You tackle him and make sure you can get his fucking gun. You can get him fucking secured. You know, that's what you fucking do. He's a big motherfucker too, so yeah, you gotta get a running start. So they get him tackled, and there's a car, like, right here. And his right arm and his right pocket are both obscured by the front bumper of the car. Like, it's kind of overlapping his shoulder chest area. Okay, so they're trying to fucking get his arm secure, and he ain't fucking putting it to where they can get it, and it's where he can get to his gun, and then he suddenly lurches over. I would be, and you would be at that time, fully expecting for his lurching over like that to be with the gun, because at the point where he's sitting there like this, there's already, in any tactical person's mind, there's already the imminent thing that you're aware of is, okay, there's the gun, there's an obstruction, there's his arm, he's going to try to get it. As soon as he lurches forward, I'm going to get shot. Okay? And as soon as they lurch forward, that's when they fucking scream gun, they fucking get down like this, they try to, he tries to fucking stay away from where that line of fire would have been, and he fucking shoots him. And you know, like, Blaine's sitting there saying he's a stupid motherfucker. That's because he was. And that's the hurt that you feel when you have to take somebody's life. The frustration with how fucking stupid they were just being by not complying with simple fucking instructions that would have kept them alive. He forced Blaine to take his fucking life. And how dare you put any further guilt or any fucking further suffering on that man for doing his job.
And he does have a family to go home to, by the way.
Yep.
And don't get us wrong, we're not in any means saying that Alton should have died. But he should have complied. And this would not have been an issue. I mean, if I were behaving like that, I would expect to be shot. I would. I would expect to be shot if I was not complying, right, and I was resisting and I had a gun.
You know why cops haven't shot me? Because I don't fucking act like that.
Right.
You know, the only time I ever got fucking a little bit testy with the cops, guess what? They were fucking rough as shit with me too. And I don't know if you noticed, I'm white. There ain't no fucking race issue here, okay? There's no issue here. The only issue is people talking shit they don't know nothing about. Like people talking on the news about CD Man selling fucking CDs illegally. You don't know nothing about that. There's fucking local rappers that he's selling CDs for, okay? You know, while I'm sitting there telling him he's a dumbass for fucking resisting arrest, let me tell you, you know, he was doing a fucking, he would have been doing a good service for the community if it wasn't for the fucking drug running thing. Okay, he was, in one sense,
he was promoting local artists.
Doing a fucking, a good thing in that he was promoting local artists. Nutty One's CDs were fucking there. And if you'd like me to recommend one, I'll rip them up. I was there when I wrote that shit. Nutty won't be sitting there with his fucking little loop device and this cheesy fucking old shitty keyboard, and he'd just be like hammer dun 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 dun, like he not playing nothing, and then put it on a loop and then start ratting to it, and it was pretty badass every time. We'd be getting fucked up, and he'd be freestyling. I'll be sitting there like with my chain wallet and like some boxes and shit, doing some beats. It was great. Uh, oh yeah, he found out that I could play the drums, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta come on."
But so regardless, Blaine's appealing the firing. They've got 15 days to file an appeal. The ironic thing is that he actually got fired yesterday. They just didn't come out and say it yet until today.
You know, if it calms people's fucking nerves, let them fucking resign. Alright? Don't fire his ass. Or, you know, say you fucking fired him and let him resign. Or something like that. Fuck.
I mean, they're acting like he
Such
came
bullshit.
running on the scene, guns fucking blazing, and just killed him with, like, no... They tried to tase him. They tried to talk to him. They told him, put your hands on the fucking car. He wouldn't put his hands on the fucking car. When they tried to make him get down on the car, he didn't want to get down on the car. They tased him. He didn't want to fucking subdue to the taser. They
when
told
you have
him,
a large
get down.
physical presence, it's your responsibility to fucking comply with officers. I'm a martial arts expert, and I have a large fucking physical presence. It's my responsibility to comply with officers and to make them feel comfortable. I understand that. And if I don't, I'm gonna get shot. Okay? It's a... What?
Now,
Like, big fat motherfucker sits there and tries to move on you. That's the same thing as me starting to move fast, isn't it?
Now,
Fuck.
I will tell you where I did see the issue with what Blaine did.
That was my hand magically appearing in the middle of the screen.
I have been watching these police videos very closely, like all these body cams, dash cam videos, in last 2.5 years-ish.
Right.
Pretty closely.
5 years.
It is not uncommon to hear a cop threaten to shoot somebody if they're not complying. Now, holding the gun to his head and saying that you were going to blow his fucking head off might have been a little extreme. That's not really going to de-escalate a situation.
Okay.
But
when you called in, somebody's got a gun, then you're supposed to threaten to shoot them. Period. You're supposed to make them know that their fucking life is in danger. In my opinion, everything he said was perfectly compliant. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you know, he knew where he was. He was in the ghetto, fucking talking ghetto to the ghetto, okay?
on the plus side, the Baton Rouge Police Union stands firmly behind him. They think that the Baton Rouge Police Department is 100% in the wrong for firing him. He was cleared by the FBI and the Department of Justice, saying that there was no wrongdoing.
Right. There's two ways you could handle this situation. Let's just play them out in your head, okay? One is, sir, please, sir. Okay, that's what y'all are thinking, right? Instead of the, motherfucker, I will fucking shoot you. Okay, it's, sir, please comply or I will be forced to use deadly force. You know, like, okay. In one situation, there's a chance of that person who's all fucked up hearing you and taking you seriously. In the other, there's a much more chance of them thinking you're a dumbass rookie who doesn't have any fucking hardness to you, and you ain't gonna pull the trigger because you a little bitch. Okay? Which one of those situations is which? Now, if it's a nice neighborhood, it's some fucking, you know, normal black college student in a fucking normal looking car, okay? You're not talking about, like, in the ghetto, somebody with a fucking 80s Cadillac with $2,000 rims on it and a fucking 15-inch woofer in the back. Right? You know, there's a difference in these fucking situations, okay? When you pull over the fucking new car that's probably insured, yes, it's, sir, please, blah, blah, blah. In the situations where those fucking where like people just getting pulled over get fucking shot. Those are fucking outrageous. Those should be the ones where we're actually fucking talking about them still and having protest about them. But this was a fucking known drug dealer who was known to be armed, known to be a type of boss figure in this area. This area is known to be fucking just gang infested and drug infested and gun infested. And, you know, you should have units looking like fucking RoboCop going down there with full armor. Okay? Especially if you want them to talk with manners. But until you provide them with that kind of equipment, you ought to give leniency towards their survival instincts. Okay? And your survival instinct approaching that big, doped up motherfucker with his reputation and his record, on that call where he was threatening somebody with a gun, your survival instincts would have told you to do the same thing. Be as dominating as you can and get control of that situation at all costs. Okay? Sometimes when you want to beat the demon, you gotta become the demon. There's a difference between demons that have fallen and demons that haven't. And that guy was becoming a demon of protect. Okay? He was protecting society. He was protecting his partner. And he was protecting himself, which he had a right to do. And any soldier, any public servant who has ever had to channel their primal instinct in order to protect knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. And they'll tell you. If they see those videos, all those videos, that man didn't do nothing wrong. And I feel bad for him for being forced to take a life like that. Because if you've never taken a life, you don't know how that feels. If you've never been forced to take a life, you really don't know how that feels. And then shame on y'all for fucking up his life even further. He's already walking around with a goddamn baseball cap over his face like he don't want nobody to even see him. You got anything else to say, baby?
I'm just going to be fascinated to see how the appeals process goes, to be honest with you. Because this is going to bring me back to a point that I brought up earlier with the whole political thing with the mayor and the chief of police now. The new chief of police, not the one who made that statement. Sorry. The new chief of police, not the one who made that statement you were talking about, but the one who was just appointed within the last month or two. He's a yes man for the new mayor, who's been doing all kinds of things to keep Baton Rouge divided racially. And the fact that the FBI and the Department of Justice found both Blaine and Howie innocent of any wrongdoings. They didn't overly use deadly force or whatever. They didn't use deadly force when it wasn't necessary. They didn't overreact in the situation. This is the finding by the FBI and the Department of Justice.
Right.
But the mayor whispers in the police chief's ear, and all of a sudden he's fired. Now, Howie didn't get fired, but that's because he didn't shoot. He was still suspended, put on administrative leave and all that jazz. As far as I know, until the end of those investigations, or even until the end of this one, if I'm not mistaken. So, and the worst part about that is that all this is unfolding with this afternoon at 5 here locally. with everybody making the announcements and everything, and releasing all the extra video that didn't get released when all this happened 2 years ago. And I'm watching the comments because, of course, I'm watching it live on Facebook, as it's convenient. And just the comments that the people in the community are making, both black and white, are just appalling. I'm seeing people calling for the job of the deputy that didn't even fire. The one who didn't even fire a single shot. The one who tased him. And they're calling for his job.
And most of these people, what you gotta understand, they're literally, just like the Trump supporters, repeating the rhetoric that Russian trolls have told them on Facebook. Literally repeating shit that they heard in fucking comments or that they read in comments on fucking Facebook.
And you know what the worst part about it is you know when a drive-by shooting happens and one of their family members gets shot, who the first person they go and call? The cops.
Right.
I mean, I hate that. You want to sit there and down the cops and anybody who supports them and the hard decisions that they have to make from day to day. And the crime here in Baton Rouge is absolutely ridiculous. If I'm not mistaken, we have more murders this year at the end of March than New Orleans does. Almost daily. It's just news reports. Somebody got shot on this street. Hit and run on this street. Drive-by shooting on this street. 3, 4, 5 times a day. And that's just the major ones. Then 3, 4 days later, you hear about other ones that, like, you know, maybe the person didn't die or...
But Facebook's uniting the world, right?
Right.
People have committed suicide because of Facebook's digital isolation on behalf of the Russian Federation, not just the Trump campaign. People have gone to massive protests. People have changed their religion, okay? You got to understand how deep this goes to understand every little step of it, every little piece of it. Because if you understand how deep it goes, then you can understand how broad it reaches. Well, in case I didn't get to say that, you need to understand how deep it goes to understand how broad it reaches. And then the broadcast went black again. Gray. Before, the popularity of Fox News replaced the popularity of things like The Cosby Show. America was on a good path, on its way to being the leader of the free world in a very legitimate sense. Then came the whoring. Just like in the book of Revelation, the nation of many waters. That's Russia. It always has been. They're called the nation of many waters, that area, Siberia, the north. It's because it sits on both of the oceans and all of the seas, and has a river that runs everywhere. There's a river that runs into Europe, there's a river that runs into China, a river that runs into India. They sit upon the many waters. Okay. and the nations of the earth would go whoring after them. And basically selling their souls to partake in their riches. And that's what American corrupt corporation type people like Bill Browder has confessed of doing. That's what they were doing. Everybody was oil crazy. Everybody was Russian investment and technology crazy. There was so much money to be made on sacrificing our national security. Oh, there was so much money to be made on sacrificing. Let's just give them highways right into our backyard. And then we'll rebrand it and call it social media. If you think you know what's going on in the world right now, open up the book of Revelation and tell me where the marker should be. I guarantee you, that's where it goes. But anyways, that's all for tonight. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and to the people who were watching, sorry y'all didn't feel like chatting. Feel free next time. Come chat and hang out, ask questions, share your opinion. Anyways, that's all for tonight, so have a good one. Y'all take it easy. Don't take it all. Click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.
It's in my